that's on them.
No.
I don't know what's going on. I'm not getting hurt.
No.
If I saw like bats in public being swung, I would assume it's like the zombie apocalypse happening. Like, because that's what I first associate bats with, is just like that stuff. So
Steph's gonna pick up her own bag, just start hitting people in the head. All right, Lorissa, what are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shifting Tones, a podcast with nerdy tones and shifting formats. It's also the 8th wonder of the world, and I am joined by my two wonderful celestial beings, Lorissa.
Hello.
And Spiffy.
Hello.
Hey, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the video. Look, it's us. I have 2 thumbs. Here they are.
Whoa,
and
2 thumbs.
Yeah, just got these the other day in the mail. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Got them off Temu, though, so I'm not too sure.
Oh.
Yeah. But as always, we have been doing this for a while, and you know what comes up right after the intro. It's the small talk. And Steph, I heard you got a whopping big old small talk this week.
Yes, I do. So many of you know I was absent. I feel like my voice is still recovering because I was sick all last week.
Oh no.
It was horrible.
Sheesh.
The worst I've been in quite a while. But the reason it also made it super worse was because I had a field trip that I had to go on. An overnight 4-day field trip in the middle of the woods. I was an overnight chaperone for students. Yeah, and it was so, I was kind of working from 6:30 in the morning up until 10:30 at night, 11, depending on when I fell asleep. So on top of, borderline fever versus and like coughing, losing your voice, and just like sinus issues. It was horrible. So my body didn't get a break. My mind didn't get a break. So that definitely did not help with my sickness. Every night I lost my voice. So I was like, whatever. So finally I got it back. Now it sounds a little bit better. I can still kind of tell it's slightly off sometimes.
Yeah,
so
just a bit.
Just a bit, but it's slowly getting better. Today is the best I've felt in like the last week, so that's really exciting.
That's good.
But yeah, I was just gonna talk about my camping trip a little bit because the sickness was horrible during it, but there were some good moments too. Like we got to the kids. It's like an outdoor camp, so they get to learn like outdoor schools, kind of like what they call it in a way, where you learn about nature, geology, different types of animals, environments, things like that. But they have a really cool like raptor center, which they take care of birds and like rehabilitate them.
Not dinosaurs?
Not dinosaurs. No, I know. It is funny. It's like, but it is raptor birds. Other than that, there wasn't anything too crazy. The thing that I do like doing with, at least with the girls, because there's girls and boys do both go, but I'm always in the girl cabin, of course. I have to be the girl chaperone. But I play bingo with them. So I bring my grandma's old bingo set. So like the old school dabbers and the old school cards. And I usually will buy prizes for them. They were all sold out. And then every time we return to the cabins, the girls are always like, can we play bingo? Can we play bingo? Like it's once I introduce them to it, it's nonstop. And then I'm getting asked that constantly. So that's always really endearing because it's like, modern kids playing such like an old game. It's always super fun.
Right. With the old lady.
Yeah. Pretty much. The other thing that was crazy, a first time I ever had to do was one of the trail groups was nearby the girls' cabin and some of them really had to go to the bathroom. So the trail leader brought them into the girls' cabin. It was boys and girls. No one else was in there, just their group. And the boys went on one side for the bathrooms, like one side of the wing, and the other girls went on the other side to go to the bathroom. Well, turns out after everybody came back to the cabins, after they're done hiking, I guess one of the boys decided to be goofy and just took a shit on the floor. So,
oh my goodness.
In the girls' cabin.
Classic.
And so all of a sudden, I'm having these girls run up to me like, Miss, there's poop on the floor. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, and remind you, I'm feeling awful. Like, and they come up to me, Miss, it stinks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh Lord. Thankfully, near the like teacher area where we sleep, there was a kitchenette, and I found in one of the drawers gloves. So you know,
Ooh.
me being me, I'm like, well, I'm the teacher. I'm in charge. So I put up my gloves.
Oh, no.
I know. I get wipes and I clean it up. So
you should have found a spatula or something.
Right, but there is none in there.
Oh my goodness.
That was something I never had to do before, and I did. So kind of gross, listeners, but you know, that's part of my daily life. The other last funny story I want to tell about the week and things like that was that all the girls, it's like a no phone event. So the girls, like their phones and the boys, but they stay with the teachers in our teacher area. And they're not allowed to get on them until like 8:30 to 9 when they can call home. They can talk to their families and say like, hey, I did this. How are you guys? And do like a little check-in. If we catch them on social media, that's it. They're done. Like phone's taken away. So they lose that privilege.
You're out of here.
Pretty much. So it's a really nice thing because, you know, you're kind of getting the kids away from technology and they are forced to interact with each other face to face. So it's a really nice program. But on the last night, when the girls were all talking to their families on the phone, they have to stay in the common area. They can't like hide in their beds doing it because it's hard to monitor. But one girl screamed out, "There's a mouse!" And sure enough, every girl was blood curdle screaming. And it was insane because, like I said, every girl, not every, but the majority of the girls in the cabin were on their phones to their families. And now all of a sudden, all the girls are screaming. And I'm like, oh my God, could you imagine the families, like, just hearing screaming coming from the background? I'm trying to go over and catch the mouse. I'm pretty sure I'm, like, the only one that did not scream. And I'm trying to catch the mouse, and it ran into a hole in the wall. But it's whatever. Gosh! But I was just trying to get the girls to like calm down because girls started jumping up on chairs, on tables. They're screaming, they're running, and I'm like, oh my God, can we not? Like,
oh no,
it's a rough world out there sometimes.
I love that a mouse is always so scary to everybody because like I don't like if there's a mouse in my house.
No.
And I definitely used to be like afraid of it. I'm like, I don't want to be in the house if there's a mouse because it's gonna grab a knife and kill me and stab me in my sleep and take a kidney or something. I don't trust mice.
That's crazy. I just feel like I'm so like, whatever. Spiders, whatever. Snakes, whatever. Mice, whatever. A poop on the floor, whatever. At this point. It is though. But it's like, all right, well, I've seen everything, so I can handle it. But
I think it's more about like for the mice being in the house is that it's like, oh, there's something in the house that shouldn't be. Like a spider, you have spiders in your house. And I think I'd be worried if there was like a squirrel in my house or something like that. But if I was seeing a mouse out on a trail or outside, no worries. I remember being in DC back in 2016 to pick up my brother before a trip. And we were walking. There was like 2 rats fighting on the street. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. But it wasn't scary. But if there's a mouse in the house, it's like, okay, hold up.
So, yep, that was pretty much my week and catch up. That's all I've been kind of doing. The weekend, I just like slept, relaxed, hung out because I was still sick and recovering. So I just got a little better over the weekend. So that helped probably just not moving and walking in the woods.
Yeah, no kidding. I think your new nickname going forward should be Mouse Poop Girl.
Nah, no, please. Absolutely not.
All right, fine. We'll take a poll. If you guys want her name to be Mouse Poop Girl, just follow us on social media. So every new follower we get will be a vote. If you don't want it to be Mouse Poop Girl, then leave a comment on one of our social medias.
I also don't appreciate that you put and changed that already with my name.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Kind of don't like that.
Sorry, I'll change it back.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Larissa, it's your turn to give me the small talk.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did some more HGTV update sort of things in the office today. I don't know if you've noticed, dear video listeners, but it may look a little bit different. I basically swapped sides in my office and rearranged all of my furniture, so I'm excited about that. And
I've also like is your desk in like a different place now?
Yeah, absolutely. So where the daybed was before, that's where my desk is, sort of, and then vice versa. So yeah, I rearranged.
As I was just gonna say, it's not super hard to tell with the video because of how zoomed in we are on it.
Right.
The big difference is definitely that rail, right?
It is, absolutely. That rail is a big difference. And that was part of the reason why I moved the daybed back there, because it was bothering me that it didn't have a headboard. I was like staring at it, and like Sam brought that up. I was like, oh no, that's definitely it. So moving it to the other side, I think, with that white rail has helped a lot and made me a little bit more okay with it. It's still a work in progress, but I'm super excited about it. And I've also just been doing little nitpicky things around the house that I've been like annoyed with for like all 5 years that we lived here, where
Right.
I went around and speckled all the holes in our walls, where we tried to attempt hanging curtain rods, and I'm like, I'm so sick of this hole here. So I
Hey,
fixed all those
it was
things.
a valiant effort on my part to
It
try to
was.
just guess and hang up, some curtain rods, but
Right, absolutely.
failed
And
attempts.
they stayed sturdy this entire time, except for the one in our dining room, because our cat actively climbed up the entire curtain. So I don't think that's the fault of your installation. It's just the fact that our cat may or may not weigh close to 15 pounds.
That's
Yeah, no
crazy.
kidding.
Yeah.
I did fix it though. I put in some drywall anchors and
You did.
got it more secure now. But
Absolutely.
I do worry because he's so fat that even with the anchors, it's not going to help. He's just going to pull it all down.
No. Eventually, they'll probably come tumbling down, and I just hope that he doesn't hurt himself in the process.
Right.
But yeah, those are my HGTV updates for today's episode. And I'll just briefly touch on to what we did in the weekend, because Sam, you are much more of a football enthusiast than I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, last weekend was Super Bowl weekend, and we went over to a friend's house. We had lots of good nummies, and
Lots of nummies.
Yeah, it was a lot of chatting because the game itself was extremely boring, and no one at the party really had any care.
Stake in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I literally forgot the Super Bowl happened. I didn't even watch
you're
it.
Not the only one.
I was too busy being a nerd. We watched One Piece instead.
I don't blame you.
That was probably more entertaining.
Absolutely. Yeah. The only thing you missed was the halftime show, which was incredible. There was a lot of political messaging and a lot of readings into symbolism and that sort of a thing. And it makes me want to go back and watch it, because I know they have it on Apple's website for Apple Music, so you can watch the broadcast if you missed it. Like, you really should go ahead and watch it. It was really fascinating. But yeah, that was our weekend.
It was just a good performance overall.
Mm-hmm.
So the big thing was because of the controversy and the lawsuit currently going on between Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
Yes.
They weren't sure if he was going to perform Not Like Us at the halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. Well, he teased it a bunch then actually performed it. And he was like walking sideways across the stage.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said, "Hey, Drake, I hear you like I'm young," and he smiled and looked right at the camera, because he's like, "I know it's a lawsuit. I don't care. I'm coming for you."
That was really, really great.
Yeah. Okay. Sam's time. Sam's time. Woo! Sam's time. I'm only saying Sam's time so much because I'm trying to get up my notes to look at them. Okay. So yes. So before I get into the controversial corner, I'm going to say I think I figured out why the Eagles won the Super Bowl, though.
Oh.
Yeah. Hear me out. Two players on the Eagles team, two different players, had birthdays on the day of the Super Bowl.
That's right. I did see that little announcement. Everyone's like, wait, like, are they for real right now? That'd be an incredible way to spend your birthday.
And I think the reason they won is because that means 2 birthday wishes.
Oh.
So they use the power of birthday wishes to wish for a win. And if the Kansas City Chiefs didn't have any wins or any birthday wishes, available, then they were screwed from the very beginning.
It's all adding up.
Kitty.
The cat.
Oh.
He very much loves making sure we give him undivided attention, even when
buddy.
We shouldn't be giving him attention.
Yeah, he's been clawing at my leg to come up, and I'm like, please don't jump up. So yeah, that's all my like little small talk. Yeah, the Super Bowl is fun to like hang out with friends and watch. The halftime show was great. Commercials were pretty funny this year, actually. So overall, pretty darn good. Oh, and we had board game night with some friends.
Did on
Our
Saturday.
monthly board game night we do. We played a new game called Dice Throne, which is a huge game, and apparently there's a bunch of expansions with like Marvel and different. I think X-Men has one, which is Marvel, but still.
Lots of different licenses, for sure.
Yeah, and it's pretty much you have a board like, I don't know, about this big or so, with a character on it, and each character is different, like a D&D character. So you have like a thief and a ninja and a barbarian and all these different characters, and you have different dice for each one. They have different symbols on them. You can attack and defend and do different things. It's really fun. I think if you haven't played it, you should go play it. It's a little expensive of a game to buy, but once you have it, you can keep playing it over and over again.
Yeah, and the board game itself really is a work of art. Like, they really spent a lot of time crafting the illustrations, especially for the original IP for like the base game. Like, I was looking at all the different character profiles, and I was just like, wow, look at all that like depth of like detail and the shading, and you could really feel the character on the board. It was almost like 3D feeling in that way.
It was pretty cool. But enough about Steph. So let's get into the controversial corner 2025. Number 1, movies need to cast new actors. I don't care if this person's been known for a role for a long time, or it's been 10 or 20 years or something. Get someone new. There are so many good actors out there. I am tired of Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine. I know he's great. I know it's controversial, but just get someone new. Get someone younger. Someone cool to play the role. Mission Impossible. I don't know. Tom Cruise. I don't know how he's alive right now. I think he's a robot. But get someone else to take over for him. Make him die in this new one and have a new thing take over, and then wait 10 years and produce a new Mission Impossible or something.
Yeah, like James Bond. Like they switch the James Bond actor
Absolutely,
frequently.
just like James Bond. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Same with, I don't know, Marvel and DC characters. I like that we get a new Batman every 5 years. So that's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's just my hot take. Switch actors out more often. There's a lot of cool talent out there that just doesn't get discovered because everyone's like, and it's not even for superhero roles or anything like that.
Sure.
It's just like, hey, who should play this character? Oh, it's a comedy role? Put one of the Chris's in there. Chris Pratt or Chris Hemsworth or Chris
Generic
Evans.
Pretty white boy.
Mr. Chris.
Mr. Chris himself. All right, point number 2. I don't think companies should do gift cards.
Interesting. Why is that?
Yeah.
Like specific ones?
Just in general, I don't think companies should do gift cards. I think it's a scam and a waste of money on their end. I think the company themselves is getting screwed over. So say you're a small business specifically.
Sure.
And you're like, hey, it's the holidays. We're going to sell gift cards. And it's like, great. If you're doing your accounting correctly and your money and everything's okay, then you're fine probably. Mm-hmm. But with a lot of small businesses, it's like, oh, they might realize they have extra money and they might put it towards some repairs or something else. And then say, in the month of January, February, all those people come in to use their gift cards. You're giving out free meals to all those people because you use that money that you thought, hey, we got a little bit extra money. Let's put that towards something. And now you're kind of...
But doesn't the money that's bought with a gift card go to that company?
It does. Yeah. So, I mean, normally, yes, it's just, it equals out technically. But I could see a small business especially getting like, hey, we have all this extra money. Let's use it for a roof repair. Let's use it for new menus or new something or other. And then maybe they don't think about it like that was gift card money. I don't know. I don't run a small business.
Right.
We have a friend that does. So I'll ask him if, hey, do you do gift cards? And if so, you ever have to worry about that kind of thing?
Yeah. And I think what the confusion is like when you receive a gift card and you go to use your gift card to pay it, it's not like the business at that point is receiving the money. They've already received the money like 2 months ago.
Yeah. The money's been in their thing. So if they've spent it, then it's like you are getting a free meal essentially. I mean, you're not because they had the money, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lot of plastic. It's
sure,
just a lot
absolutely.
Of plastic.
Death to plastic.
Number 3, my final one, shower handles should be government mandated. I think that when you purchase a house...
hear him out. I get it.
All right, Steph's got this. So when you purchase a house, or maybe when you turn 18, I think instead of signing up for the draft, you should get a shower set in the mail, like just the handles. And they should be universal because everybody has different shower handles in their house. And it is the most infuriating thing.
Sure.
So like, we have 2 different ones in our house. We have two showers, and the handles are different.
Absolutely.
And 99% of the time, at least here in America, hot's on the left, cold's on the right. Not everybody's is like that. Steph, yours is one of those examples upstairs in your guys' bathroom.
I didn't even know what that one was.
So the hot's on the right and the cold's on the left. But also, because the way it's designed, you have to just stop it in the middle. And it's not like fully shutting it off. Like, so some handles, you turn it and it'll just shut it off. That one's kind of in the middle. And I've been at other people's houses where it's like you have to turn one slightly and one up to get that going and one down to get that one going. And it's just too much. Just make it universal. Like one handle starts at the top. The more you turn it, the hotter it gets. And the more the pressure comes up.
Super controversial. Maybe for some people, but
maybe
I
for big
like
handle. Maybe for big handle industry. But I think the reason it's controversial is because it doesn't promote diversity in the handle industry.
Oh, in the showers.
Yeah, because now everybody's got the same handle. It's not like you can customize your bathroom.
Yeah, it may be controversial in the interior design space where you're going to want to have that diversity and options of like, oh, I'm going for specifically a Victorian look and they want the like old-fashioned like wheel knobs. But if everything's universal, you can't do that. And that's boring.
Right. Okay. Since, we're doing controversial corner and we got some controversial news and all that stuff, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm wearing a hat today. And I know the camera's backwards, but what does it say right here?
Oh, it looks normal to me. It says Florida.
Oh, does it? Mine is mirrored.
Oh, is it? That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it says Florida. And what is the one thing you guys know about Florida more than anything else?
They do have...
It's hot.
some
hot, yes.
oranges.
They have oranges,
there's a bunch of theme parks there.
Yeah, and the people are crazy. The people are absolutely bonkers. And so that kind of inspired this episode today. I figured there's so much news right now in the world that's just so like heartbreaking or stressful or just causes crazy anxiety. So today what we're doing instead is we're going to talk about news, but we're going to talk about wacky news. So Steph and Lorissa, you guys are competing. Essentially.
Okay.
And so what it's going to do is I'm going to give you some headlines.
Okay.
And some of them are real, actual headlines that happen, and some are made up headlines entirely.
Okay.
And they're all just goofy, like from 2024, wacky, weird things that have happened.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the headline, and then I'm going to read you a little snippet from it, and you tell me what your thoughts are and if you think it's real or not. And
Nice. Okay.
We'll
Are
do
they
a
all
virtual
Florida
coin toss. What's
man
up?
Headlines?
No, they're not all Florida
okay.
Man, but they give that the
Wait, that's
Florida
a good
Man
question.
ambiance,
exactly.
The aura of Florida Man.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a virtual coin toss in my head. I already have a thing picked out.
Sure.
So I'm gonna flip it. Somebody call heads or tails.
Tails.
Heads, then.
All right, Larissa, you go first because it was tails.
That's what it was at the Super Bowl, by the way. The coin.
Whoa.
That's not what I was thinking, but yeah,
no,
that works.
That's what I was thinking.
All right, I'm gonna give you your first headline. And you just tell me if you think it's real or fake, and then you guys will both discuss it at the same time, but you just get the first guess at the first swing, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, the first one is nude woman swings spiked club in Venice Beach duel, puzzling onlookers. You want the little snippet about it?
Oh, sure, absolutely, please.
Okay, this is from 2024. So a bizarre February altercation between two women at Venice Beach had onlookers do a double take. Video from the South California beach showed two women, one of them completely nude, using what appeared to be a spike club to fight another one on the boardwalk as people curiously watched. People just watched this happen.
Sure.
The naked woman wildly swung her weapon while the clothed woman pulled out her own bat from behind a trash can into what looked like a duel. Yeah.
All right. Is that it for the snippet?
Yeah, there was one person that said, I mean, it was entertaining. That's all I can say.
Wow, that's really real in-depth on-the-street journalism there. I'm glad we got that quote.
I mean, to be honest, if I saw a woman with a spiked club and another woman with a bat swinging at it, I'm not getting involved. That's on them.
No.
I don't know what's going on. I'm not getting hurt.
No.
If I saw like bats in public being swung, I would assume it's like the zombie apocalypse happening. Like, because that's what I first associate bats with, is just like that stuff. So
Steph's gonna pick up her own bat, just start hitting people in the head. All right, Larissa, what are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? At first I thought maybe it was real because I'm like, oh yeah, crazy shit happens on Venice Beach. It's just known to be wild. But then you said nude, and I don't know. America's still pretty prudish. I feel like the cops would have been called on her the second she was walking around nude. So it feels fake to me.
Fake to you? Okay. Steph, are you going to agree or disagree?
I was going to say fake, mostly because when you said that she pulled out another bat behind the trash can, I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, she doesn't have that strapped on her, like, just ready to go.
Yeah, I always have my bat on my back ready to go.
Right.
But my initial feeling was like, you said that it was in California, and when I hear Venice Beach, I think Florida. So I'm like, am I having my locations wrong? Because you also said it was beach, but then the boardwalk.
Yeah, Venice Beach is in Los Angeles.
Oh,
it's
I
like
thought that was
the
like Monica.
It's
the
like
Monica Pier.
I think those are two different things. Yes, Santa Monica Pier.
I thought that was
Venice
just
Beach.
they only had one pier there. I don't know. I've never been to LA.
Yeah, the whole
state of California.
super long state of California. They got one pier.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna stick with my gut. I think it's false.
All right, we got both of you guys saying false, and you guys are both false because it is a true story.
That's crazy.
There's a video of it. Obviously
That's
everything's
wild.
blurred out, but
Sure.
yeah, it's just two people going at it with like a sword fight, essentially. Yeah. All right, you guys ready for the next one? Steph, you get to go first this time.
Ooh, okay.
All right, let's get this one. Man does push-ups and sprints while on top of bus in downtown LA for 5 hours.
Oh my god.
What's happening in LA?
A lot. A bizarre scene unfolded June 3rd when a man climbed on top of a bus in downtown Los Angeles and stayed there for about 5 hours. The shirtless man, with his cap on backwards, ran back and forth and performed push-ups on top of the articulated Foothill Transit bus, which was stopped on the side of Pico Boulevard. Oh.
Pico. Oh.
The man climbed up on the bus around 9 p.m. and then when he was kicked out of a car, according to the authorities. Oh, he was kicked out of a car and then climbed on the bus because he was upset. He appeared to be intoxicated, said the police.
Interesting.
I feel like that's false. I'm gonna stay with the false narrative. I just feel like maybe that happened, but maybe it was with something else, not like a bus.
Oh, okay. You think that it's just something was changed in the title?
Yes, I feel like that could be a true story for sure. I could definitely see a drunk person doing that, but maybe it was like some other either vehicle, like maybe it was on top of a car rather than a bus. I don't know.
Or a food truck?
Or it could be, yeah.
Okay, Larissa?
I don't know. The fact that they let this man stay on top of the bus for 5 hours, like, that public transportation needs to get going. Like, there's no way they would have waited even more than like 30 minutes before calling the cops on him. Like, I guess it could have been like a standoff, like a tree hugger, where they called him right away and he was just staying up there. But I don't know. Those cops would have got up there and got him right away. So I also feel like this is false.
Wow, you guys are doing so good. You guys are both 0 for 2. This is a very true story in the news. It's a big bus. It's like, it's kind of got like edges on the top too. So it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to stay up on it. There's a picture of him on top of the bus.
Sure. I wasn't doubting the man's
I don't know my LA story news. Like,
I know. Should have split up the LA ones a bit there.
They should have.
All right, you guys ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay, so woman gets stuck in elevator for 48 hours, refuses help because she wasn't done with her podcast. Quote. A woman in New York City was trapped in an elevator for over 2 days. Emergency crews had difficulty reaching her. And as she insisted on finishing her last episode of her true crime podcast before she let them free her, she said, "You don't understand. It's a cliffhanger."
That's pretty wild. And there's nothing in this story that is remarkably different from the last 2 article headlines that we heard. So just by default of trying to gain the test questions, like on Scantrons, you're like, well, I have no idea. So I'm just going to fill it in C and hope for the best. That's what my strategy is. Yeah, I'm going to go false.
Okay. Steph?
Okay, so it could be true. I just feel like a podcast is weird, but we also had 2 trues in 2 trues back to back. So now I'm like, okay, but surely it has to be false now, right? The probability, or it could be Sam's trick.
They could be all true.
They
could
all be true.
There's fake ones in here.
But I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. I'm gonna say false because 2 days without like food and water, and then you're talking. Her throat's gotta be dry.
Right, absolutely. She could have died without water.
My throat's dry right now just from doing this podcast.
That's
exactly.
True.
It's hard work out here. Just kidding.
Yeah, no, you guys are both correct. That is a false story.
Thank goodness.
But I believe if she was trapped in there and she didn't want to get out, she was probably listening to Shifting Tones.
It's
because
true.
most people cannot stop listening. It's addictive.
Also, talking about like Scantron and like trying to figure out if the teacher put 2 falses in a row or like 3 falses in a row. Have you ever had a teacher like put all trues on a quiz for you? Oh, it happened to me and it was wild. I was like, what is going on?
That is kind of wild.
Yeah.
No, my teachers are pretty decent. They were nice to me. Or our class, at least.
Sure.
Oh, my turn to go first. Okay.
It's your turn to
Sam,
go first? Yep.
Lay it on me.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Hold on. Yes, 1 second. I realized that the list that I had, the first one, was entirely LA articles.
Oh, that's so funny.
So I'm making sure that moving forward that's not the case. So I will keep making sure that things are different.
Thanks for shifting us away
Ooh.
from LA.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Maybe look at some true Florida man cases.
All right. Police rescue man who got stuck in vending machine while trying to retrieve a bag of chips. A 32-year-old man from Ohio found himself trapped inside a vending machine after crawling in headfirst, trying to dislodge a bag of chips. The snack got stuck, so he took matters into his own hands, only to become wedged between rows of snacks. Took the fire department and rescue teams over an hour to get him out.
Oh, no.
He was unharmed, but has since promised to stop risking his life for snacks.
I feel like I heard this, but maybe I'm like just gaslighting myself to be like, yeah, you did hear this once. I'm gonna say true.
You say true? Okay.
I could see that happening, actually.
Larissa,
Absolutely.
what are your thoughts on the snack man?
I have been known to do some silly things back in my day where I see a hole in a picnic bench and I'm like, I wonder if out of sheer boredom I could put my finger in there. and then it gets stuck, and I'm horrified for the next 30 minutes trying to like wiggle it out. So just based off of that personal experience, I've also had that intrusive thought to try and like grab the food in the vending machine. Yeah, I think it's real.
Okay. Wow, you guys have agreed on each single
I
one.
know.
You guys are both wrong. It is fake.
Darn!
That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah.
We suck at this game.
We sure do.
I don't know what to tell you on like why it was false. You know, just
Sure.
if there was anything that like stood out to say, hey, this is false. You know.
It feels so real to me.
I'm sorry. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Lorissa, you get to go first this time.
Cool.
An elderly man accidentally drives his car into the ocean, claims he was just testing the new hybrid. An 82-year-old man in Florida accidentally drives his car into the ocean while attempting to park it near a beach. When authorities arrived, he claimed the hybrid vehicle was supposed to be able to do this, and that he was testing its water resistance, quote. The car was eventually pulled out, but the man is currently undergoing a testing phase for his driving abilities.
Interesting. You know what? Just like Steph, I feel like I've heard this story before, and I wanted to scream at the man who could not hear me through the article. And I'm like, man, it's not a water boat.
But it's a hybrid,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's not one of the, what are they, like, they're called like duck boats, right?
Well, there are duck boats, but there were a few like half boat, half cars that were made. There's not a lot of them. I saw them once in our hometown.
Oh, really?
So
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So I'm going to go true.
Okay.
And I'm going to say false to change it up.
Oh!
Just to change it up.
Just to change it up.
All right.
I don't know. It just feels, the story feels off for some reason.
Okay. Steph, you would be correct. It is off because it's not real.
Darn.
Yes. Yep. That is a fake story I got for you there. Okay. You guys ready for this next one?
Yes.
I think this one's a banger. This is right up Shifting Tones alley. Unfortunately, 2 men were found dead from exposure after looking for Sasquatch. 2 men from Oregon who went missing after going on a search for Sasquatch have been found dead, Washington state officials announced on Saturday. The men, both from the Portland area, were reported missing by a family member on Christmas Day and were set to return searching for the legendary creature in the eastern county on Christmas Eve. Let's see if there's any other information about specifically, like, did they say anything? You know, were they...
Some quotes?
Yeah, I'm trying to look. I don't see anything about that, so probably due to freezing temperatures, though. According to the article...
Naked?
No, I think they were clothed.
Oh, okay.
You just have naked people on your mind from the first 2 articles.
That's fair.
But apparently, in this county in Oregon, harming Bigfoot is punishable by a $1,000 fine and can include jail time.
That's crazy.
Awesome.
Yep. So, thoughts?
I think it's true. I know that Oregon has one of the highest, like, Sasquatch, like, area sightings. So,
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like there's some wild people out there, not just wild in terms of looking for Bigfoot, but there's also just a lot of wild nature people out there because there is a lot of nature. So I could see that. So I'm going to say true.
Okay. Larissa?
Yeah, this sounds oddly familiar. This sounds like an unsolved mystery episode on Netflix. So I'm going to also say true.
Okay, you guys are both correct. It is a true story.
Whoa, okay.
It makes sense because when I was doing my treasure hunting for the Forest Fen treasure, one thing that always kind of got brought up that there was like 5 to 7 deaths associated with it. Like people that just went out there trying to find it and either, got hypothermia, fell in a river, just got lost and unfortunately, didn't make it. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, they said the cause of death for these appears to be exposure based on weather conditions and ill preparedness.
Jeez.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but I do think it's funny that in the article it describes what Sasquatch is. There's a large hairy figure.
In case you don't know.
Yeah, a large hairy figure that resembles a human and is thought to live in the northwestern part of the United States and Canada.
Okay.
All right. How you guys feeling so far? You guys feeling confident?
I feel confident because I got a 1-point lead on Larissa.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You do have a 1-point lead. Yeah.
I am taking my notes like I normally do on these game show events to keep track for everybody.
Yes, thank you very much. But yeah, no, I'm not feeling great.
It's
you guys
hard.
ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Keeping in the Shifting Tones realm, man tries to cash in on old Pokemon cards, gets arrested for trying to sell fake cards to Pokemon experts.
Oh, no.
A Michigan man thought he could make a fortune by selling what he believed to be rare Pokemon cards. However, he didn't realize that the expert buyers he was dealing with were actually undercover Pokemon enthusiasts who immediately recognized the card as fake. The Squirtle card was just a holographic sticker. One of the buyers said the man now faces charges of attempted pocket monster fraud. What are your thoughts on
monster. That? Oh boy. You know what? I do think this crime probably does happen. I definitely see that as a possibility. Like, I know that back in the day, I tried to print Pokemon cards, not to try and sell them, but because I wanted them. And my parents just didn't buy me Pokemon cards, and I wanted to collect them all.
You didn't eat all your pancakes and get a free pack of Pokemon cards?
No, unfortunately not. I did not have that luxury.
Rough.
No, but my gut says it's false just based off of the details you gave us.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just going to go with false, and that's it.
Okay.
Steph? I was thinking false too, just because, like, I don't know. That's just so... It's funny. It's funny, but I don't know. Something about it.
Although this does happen fairly often, it's actually a common thing. This is a fake article, and I wish I had proofread it because of how badly it was worded. I didn't. As I'm reading, I was like trying to stop myself. I was like, well, I can't stop myself from saying the man now faces charges of attempted pocket monster fraud.
Yeah, that line was a little odd.
Yeah, and the fact that it was a Squirtle. Yeah, it wasn't like a Charizard or like a, the special edition Pikachu or something like that. Right. Who cares if you sell a fake Squirtle for $5?
Hey, Squirtle's the best, so I care. Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay, how about we do 3 more?
Okay, sounds good.
Because I'm looking, let's see at the time. Yeah, we'll do 3 more. Why not? All right. Man arrested after trying to rob a bank with a live alligator.
Oh.
In a bizarre attempt at a quick payday, a man in Florida entered a local bank and threatened tellers with an alligator he had somehow snuck in under his trench coat. Witnesses say the reptile was just chilling and seemed more interested in the snacks left on the counter than any criminal activity. The man was quickly apprehended when the alligator was discovered to be completely uninterested in the crime itself. What are your thoughts on this?
So you had me all the way up until, had me at true all the way up until it said the bank had snacks on the counter. And I'm like, what bank has snacks? Suckers. Just the suckers?
Yeah.
I feel like an alligator just wouldn't smell nor care. I'm going to say false. That's the only stipulation. Because I heard alligator in Florida and bank robbery. I'm like, yep, that sounds right. But the snacks on the counter, I don't know. False.
Steph saying fake news. Larissa?
As a bake teller, we did often put suckers and things on display. So I can believe that there's snacks on the counter at this bank. Maybe they're just extra friendly. I want to say it's true because Florida man be Florida-ing.
Florida man do be Florida-ing, but in fact, this Florida man doesn't exist because it's not a true story.
Oh, so I was right?
Yeah, you were right.
It was the snacks.
Yep, absolutely. It was a snack disaster, I would say, because it wasn't a true story. All right, you guys ready for this next one?
Yes, 2 more. Dos más. Let's go.
All right, and let's see, if Larissa gets these next 2, she can tie you, correct?
So right now I have 5 points. Larissa has 3. So
Larissa
would have to win these next 2, and I need to not do good.
Okay, the article reads, they told insurers a bear damaged their car, but it was actually a person in a bear costume. 4 residents from the Los Angeles area were arrested this week after an investigation by the California Department of Insurance revealed that they allegedly used a life-size bear costume to stage attacks on their vehicles in an attempt to secure a 6-figure payout.
This one I know for a fact is true. I remember listening about it, and I'm pretty sure that they may or may not be considering it for one of those commercials for here's Mr. Mayhem. And yeah, I think it's totally real. I remember this being a story in the news. I am not gaslighting myself.
I'm going to add that in quotes in the article, it says Operation Bear Claw began earlier this year after one of the claims gave an insurance company pause.
That's so good. I love that the journalist added that. I love it.
I'm pretty sure I read, this was the one I'm the most certain about being true.
Mm-hmm.
You guys both remember this story?
I do. Yes. I absolutely do.
Unless you added something, it's 3 people, not 4.
Okay, I can't gaslight you. It is a true story. Okay. You guys have good memories. Yep, this actually happened. I also remember this story. I thought it was pretty funny. that they try to.
You scared me for a second. I'm like, oh my God, he did like add just one small
Right.
little detail to have it be false. Okay.
Yep. No, this was true. I remember a story from years ago about lizard people or something like that, and the person claimed that the lizard was like clawing at their car and like taking bites out of the hood of their car. And they were like, oh, we're gonna try to capture the lizard, and they were trying to get insurance claims out of it. And
sure.
Obviously you can't prove a lizard man attacked your car.
No, they don't exist.
Well, hold on,
stop. We're not even gonna pretend that
we don't know that.
All right, so gonna be the last one. Man arrested in UK cheese heist where imposter stole $389,000 worth of cheddar. So authorities in London have arrested a 63-year-old man in connection with the cheese heist of 2024, in which tens of thousands of pounds of high-value cheddar were stolen from a major distributor.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So, oh yes, you're first.
Yeah. I don't know England that well, but I think it's true. I just think that's funny. I want it to be true so bad.
You think the cheese heist really happened?
That'd be awesome if it did. I say true.
Okay. Larissa, what are you thinking?
Well, at first I was like assuming this was an American story, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if any American would ever try and steal that much money worth of cheese. Also, I'm like, I don't even know if we have anything that expensive that's that cheese amount. Like, we're not having great European fancy cheeses here. But then I was like, wow, London, maybe it's a European thing where they're stealing some fancy cheese that was like aging for like a century or something crazy like that, so it's worth that much money. But I don't know, something about it sounds fishy, so I'm gonna say false.
Stinks a little, like stinky cheese.
Too much.
Unfortunately, it is a true story, Larissa.
That's crazy.
I do like in the article later down, it says, if you do see or know anybody over in Europe or around the world that there's some cloth-bound raw milk cheddar that's going for cheap, can you please let us know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, they have no idea who he was, and they still don't have
man wanted his cheese.
They sure did. That's just crazy to me, because it sounds like he stole an entire quantity amount of cheese from a facility. Like, how do you not have any camera, like, video footage of that? Like, what is going on?
Well, they have the man. They arrested the man, but the cheese got away.
Oh, I see.
Like,
okay.
He got away with the cheese.
Accomplice, or he just hit it really well.
I know it seemed like a very cheesy story, but I think it was pretty good.
All right.
I will agree with you.
After all that, I don't know. I had a total of 7 points. Larissa had a total of 4.
Womp womp.
Wow.
My prize is hosting next week's episode.
That's what I was going to say. You get to host next week's episode. Yeah, so I had 10 fake articles, and I was trying to like split them up between if they're real or not. Couldn't decide which ones I wanted to give. Some of them are kind of like similar stories to like other ones I already like said. The last one was local cat runs for mayor, wins by 20 votes.
That's real.
Yeah, but this one is a specifically made up article. Yeah, cats have been mayors,
I
but
was
this
gonna
one,
say,
the
that's
cat
a
won by
real
20 votes. It says in a small town in Vermont, a cat named Mr. Whiskers
so cute.
had a surprise campaign for mayor after a local joke went viral. The feline's campaign slogan, "More naps, fewer taxes," won the hearts of voters. And he narrowly defeated a human candidate by a margin of 20 votes.
So good.
The last bit says, Mr. Whiskers has yet to comment on his plans for governance, though his team assures that policy changes are in the works.
That's fun.
Yeah. All right, so I hope this was a fun little episode. It wasn't terribly long, but I think it's fun to go through wacky stories, kind of just give us a break from all the normal commotion and craziness going on in the world. So, take a breather, listen to Shifting Tones, and hopefully this kind of makes you want to go listen to more Shifting Tones. Yeah. And you know where you can listen to Shifting Tones is over on Spotify or Apple or wherever you get your podcasts. We pretty much do distribute the podcast almost everywhere. You can watch us, these faces, that face and the face over there, over on YouTube. And you can leave us a comment. You can like, you can subscribe. That's what the people on YouTube say. Are we YouTubers now?
Maybe.
Well, Steph, you always were, but...
That's true.
And Larissa, you did have a YouTube channel with your art for a while.
Yeah, it was more along the lines of me recording things for myself, and I didn't want to store it on my computer.
Right. So go listen to the YouTubers of Shifting Tones, wherever you do. You can follow us individually, Larissa at larissa.schaefer, Steph at spiffysteffy, and Sam at Sir Captain Sam. Thank you guys so much for joining us again, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.